How are we doing, guys? And welcome back to All East TV. It is your Leeds versus Sheffield Wednesday build-up video. And just to say, guys, first and foremost, this is going to be a regular thing on Tuesdays. On Tuesday, it's going to be the build-up thingy. I can't get that out of my head now. Build-up videos on Tuesdays is going to be a regular thing. And we're also going to try and do, when we can, post-match reactions like this as well. When time allows us, it's the fun adult stuff sometimes doesn't allow us to do stuff like this. So, yeah, build up for Sheffield Wednesday. Massive game, Tash. How are you, first and foremost?
Yeah, I'm excited for this one because I think more so because I think the crowd will be up more for this one and atmosphere should be better, and then that should make the players a little bit better. So yeah, hopefully we can get back on being positive and happy Leeds.
Absolutely that. I mean, it was a weird atmosphere on Saturday. That's all it can be described as. And one of those games, just get through it. Just get it over and done with. Get the win and get out of there. I think it will be better. I have a feeling it'll be a bit more of a ferocious atmosphere against Millwall at home than it is Harrogate. I've just had the feeling about that. I think you can't go on two ends of the scale more than that, can you? From Harrogate to Millwall, from one round to the other. But anyway, back onto the league. And yeah, I mean, I think first thing to talk about, Tash, is obviously we're halfway through the transfer window now. There's been nothing really happening. Well, there has been nothing happening. I was going to say nothing really happening. Nothing's happened so far. Are you concerned by that, or do you not really think we need that much anyway?
No, I do think we need stuff. I'd like to see a bit more activity, but I'm not concerned in the minute because I think we always just last minute sort of buy anyway.
Not like us to be last minute.
Yeah, it's not great. Like it would be nice to see. But I'm probably the worst person to talk about this because I literally switch off of it all. Like I can't stand the numerous. Are we getting this person? Are we getting that person? We're linked with the same person every bloody million times since the last 10 years.
Ryan Kent.
So
Ryan Kent's been linked
yeah,
again.
Ryan Kent, exactly. Yeah, now that latte laugh is it or whatever his name is. Yeah, so I am probably the worst person to probably have asked this question, so maybe you might speak a little bit better more on it. But yeah, just yeah, like I said before, we definitely need a goalkeeper. Maybe um yeah, just strengthening in other areas a bit more. I mean, I wouldn't. I'd still say we could finish the league with what we've got, but yeah, just to like strengthen it a bit. I think.
I'm the same. I think it's just finishing touches now to the team. I think we've got the painting in place. We've got the glorious cake in place. It's just the icing on the cake now. And I think the icing on the cake is potentially a goalkeeper. I do believe that, as you've said, Tash. I think if you offer me one signing for one position,
Mm.
it would be goalkeeper at this moment in time. I think that's the one that improves the team the most or sees us gain the most points from making a signing. I do believe that is the case. I think as well, striker is one to consider as well.
Mm, definitely.
Less so than the goalkeeper, but I think just more in terms of the depth. If obviously Gail Hart, I'm not sure if it's been confirmed if he's left yet or not. I think it has pretty
Yeah,
much
is he
been
on loan
confirmed.
or is he
Yeah, I
gone?
think you're off
Yeah,
off
loan.
on
Yeah.
loan, so obviously that's one less option up top. Not that Joffrey was ever really an option this season, but if Bamford, for example, moved on, or Bamford with his injury problems, is it
Mm.
worth considering going in for another forward as well, or someone who is versatile, can play as a 10 as well, or can play out wide, but can also play up top?
Yeah, and I think it rounded it up for me as well. Seeing Joseph on Saturday, he's just like you can see it. He's so frustrated, and
Trying
I
too
think
hard.
it is. It's one of them, isn't it? That because it's not working, yeah. He's trying too hard, and then it's not working even more because of that. And yeah, and it is frustrating, and I can see it's so frustrating for him. So I don't know. Maybe even a loan for him if we got someone else in or another two players in as a striker option. But mm,
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm a fan of Joseph's. I am. I do believe once he gets that goal, he will go on the run. I do believe that. I think it's one of those where
mm,
he just needs that goal because I think you look at that chance. Well, not even a chance. That opportunity he kind of made for himself in the first half where he hit the post. I
yeah,
think if you go back to the start of the season, that goes the other side of the post. I just think he's in that kind of
you reckon,
rut
yeah.
in front of goal at this moment in time. But I still think he adds all the other bits. I think we said last week he adds all the other bits you want as a striker. He just hasn't got Perot's coolness in front of goal. But then the other
Mm.
side of it is Perot's got that coolness in front of goal, But the other side of things, at times, it can be like playing with 10 men because Perot doesn't really run. To be fair, if we're being honest, he doesn't really run, doesn't really have that movement or that ability to hold the ball up. So having that option as well, who can do a bit of what Perot does, a bit of what Joseph does as well, I think is probably the best bet. But yeah, I still think Joseph, I think's got a super bright future at his football club. I do believe that, but I think it's just a position to look at this moment in time. I'm not saying we have to buy a striker to get promoted. I still believe, other than goalkeeper, I think everyone else in the team can contribute to us getting promoted this season. But yeah, that is the one position I look at and think maybe just get another option in there as well, just to take a bit of pressure off Joseph and to have a different option to Pro as well. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things develop. I mean, are you worried about potentially losing any players, Tash? Any players you're thinking a Premier League club might be looking at them this window?
Maybe Tanaka.
It's true.
Yeah.
Mind you, though, the thing with Tanaka is he's already played, I think, for 2 different clubs this season. So I don't think you can play for free. I might be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere, like before the window opened, because there was a bit of talk about Tanaka, could he go? I think I'm right in that. I might be totally wrong there, Tash. But certainly, if it's not this window, it'll be next window if we don't get promoted. Al might be saying bye bye.
I mean, I was really confident that like Rutter and Somerville and that weren't going to go last season. So now I'm like proper panic mode. I think I was confident with them not going because I just felt like we haven't been a selling club for ages, and then and it's just like, oh my god again. But yeah, and I guess it's trying not to panic, isn't it? Because like I think Fark's done really well replacing them, so I believe in him, and that's one good strength that he has. So probably maybe just Tanaka, worried about losing him if what you said isn't true. And then I don't know, who do you think?
I feel like I've made a rod for my own back now with that Tanaka thing, because it ends up Tanaka leaves. This is going to get absolutely clipped up. I'm pretty confident that is the case, that he has played for 2 different clubs this season, obviously in Germany, and then obviously for us. So I think that's okay. But for me, I look at it. Obviously, there's this thing about Strout to Tottenham. I can't see that, to be honest. I think Tottenham, if they are going to sign anyone, I think it's going to be someone who readily goes into their first team. I don't think Strout does that, to be honest. But if I look across the rest of the team, obviously it looks like Firpo, by the looks of things, obviously it's not been confirmed, isn't going to stay beyond this season. He's going to allow, we're going to allow his contract to expire at the end of the season by the looks of things. So whether there might be a bid for Firpo at a cut price deal, who knows? Thinking about the rest of the team, Pereira, can't see anything happening there. Maybe Bamford, possibly. It's hard to say, really. It's hard to say. I think the rest of the team is pretty much locked in. There might be interest in Nonto, maybe. Now that he's not actually starting games, it does always seem to be whenever Nonto's not starting, it does become a thing about, is he going to leave? If he misses one game, it's like a massive, especially in the Italian media, it becomes a massive story. So maybe later on in the window, Nonto becomes a story. But again, if I was putting money on it, I think other than Bamford, maybe Verber, actually. I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think certainly in terms of starting players, I can't see anyone leaving, which is quite a good position to be in. But again, as you said, with Somerville and Rutter, we've said this before. We can't possibly lose both. We can't lose Somerville and Rutter. No, not only can we lose Somerville and Rutter, we can lose Archie Gray on top. So, I'm not going to get too carried away. If we have to completely rebuild a team, it wouldn't be the most un-Leeds thing ever, would it, really? But, I still believe this team is more than good enough to get promoted. I still believe it's the strongest team on paper, at least, in the league. Of course, the game's played on grass. Of course, you've got the goalkeeping errors in it, missing chances. But I still believe this team is good enough to get promoted. And, I mean, should we go on Sheffield Wednesday a little bit? Because it's been a tough game for us, this. We've actually lost. We lost in the promotion season this Wednesday at home 2-0, and we only drew last season at home to 0-0. So we've actually failed to score against them in both our last 2 games against them. And they're doing all right Wednesday as well. Top half, maybe a playoff push, probably more likely mid-table, but this is an all right team. This.
Yeah, but then I think we do better against all right teams.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed, and it's a different season. So yeah, hopefully we can like get the crowd going. I think that will be the main thing. Get the crowd going. Uh, yeah, get behind the boys. I mean, yeah, the Harrogate game wasn't anything to really cheer about, was it? Yeah, so we just need that like really good win, get our confidence back, and then like convince the players don't leave. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing as well, it's a midday kickoff as well, 12 o'clock. So it's a bit like
Mm,
atmosphere-wise, a game against Wednesday at
yeah,
home.
having
You want it
enough
like Sheffield
drinking time.
United, Friday night, under the lights. That's what you want. You know, home and away against Wednesday's Blades. You want it. You want it on a Friday night or a midweeker. Just doesn't feel right. Midday, atmosphere-wise, it's not going to be as easy. It's bang on midday as well, 12 o'clock. So I don't know. No one's had a chance to have a drink, so the atmosphere's not going to be quite to start with. Obviously, if the game is spices up early doors, the atmosphere will soon be at it. But I think maybe that first 10 minutes we'll probably need a strong start on the pitch and then
Yeah,
see how things go
definitely.
from there. Really, obviously, it'll help. I'd imagine Wednesday will sell their allocation. I'd be surprised if they didn't. Although there has been times when they haven't sold their allocation. Yeah, so hopefully, atmosphere-wise, it will be at it. And obviously, we know Burnley are playing Sunderland on Friday. Blades are playing before us as well, so maybe a few results go for us and a chance to move further clear. Maybe, so there's a lot of things that could work in our favour on Sunday with playing last. I never really like playing last, though. That's just a bit of
No.
bit of a coping mechanism there. I think the pressure on you if you are playing last, especially if the other teams win, Burnley
Yeah.
and Sheffield United, bit more
It's
pressure on
that
the
if
game.
we've got a chance to go ahead, then we definitely.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like we just avoid the results. Honestly, avoid the
Yeah,
results. Turn your like the Leeds players, turn your TVs off, phone into airplane mode, just focus on this
yeah,
game. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but it's just feels like whenever another team slips up, we slip up.
that's a
It's a
really good
guarantee.
idea,
It's a
isn't it?
banker.
Yeah, make
It
them
is a
stay at Ellen
banker.
Road. No contact. No, yeah, no. All telephones off. They never have signal in Ellen Road anyway. So yeah,
That's
make
true.
them
That's
stay
true.
there.
Just stay at Ellen Road on the night before the game.
Yeah, right. You're
It's
not welcome.
Yeah, I mean, let's go into obviously we said about the magnitude of the game for both teams. Let's go into the starting 11 then, because there's a few debates now with the starting 11. I mean, goalkeeper situation. Let's go from 1 to 11 then. Let's
Oh
start with the
god.
goalkeeper then. First of all, what you'd want to happen, and secondly, what you think will happen. Goalkeeper, will it be Melier or will it be Darlow, and
It would
who should it
definitely be
be?
Melier. I think. I think it would definitely be Melier. I'm
Do you
not
think it should
fussed.
be?
I'm not fussed either way. To be honest, I think they're
Fair
both a
enough.
bit.
Fair enough. Is
Yeah.
that because they're both fantastic and such convincing goalkeepers, or is that just
Yeah.
because they're just
Convincing that they will fuck it up. Yeah. Sorry, I keep swearing again. Right, that's my New Year's resolution. Is stop swearing. But yeah, not bothered either way.
okay? Fair enough. Fair enough. I actually think Darlow did all right on Saturday.
Yeah,
I
he did
mean,
all
listen,
right. Yeah.
he didn't have a save to make, to be fair, so you
No,
can't.
is it?
He's an impossible one to judge him off anyway. An
Yeah.
FA Cup third round game against Harrogate is never going to be any kind of like big judgment. But I think just for the optics, I think I would personally put Melly onto the bench and start Darlow just to
Yeah.
try something different in goal.
Mhm.
I don't think it's going to have these great results. I'm pretty much along the same lines as you, Tash. I don't think either are particularly convincing. I think they're both, not at the top end when it comes to the goalkeeper discussion, in terms of the Michael Coopers, the James Traffords of this league, Anthony Pattersons. I just don't think they're at those levels. In terms of everything, really, shot stopping, coming for crosses. Although Darlow did okay in that aspect, I thought, against Harrogate. But I'm not massively convinced on either. But I'd probably go Darlow. But I think it will be Melier. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So do you want to move on to the back line then? Because obviously it looks like Junior Firpo is now back.
I was gonna
I
say,
mean,
is he
assuming you go Bogle, Rodon, Strauch, I mean, I'm assuming you wouldn't change any of that. Is it just left back where there could be a bit more of a discussion for you, Tash?
Yeah. Yeah. So have you left Ampadu out there? Sorry, my brain isn't working.
So I was going to say, thinking what I said myself now.
You said
What am I
Bogle,
saying? Oh,
Rodon,
yeah,
and
so
Strout.
Bogle,
Yeah,
Rodon, Strauch along the, it's like, say that's right back
yeah.
Bogle, Rodon and Strauch centre backs. Left back, you've then got the option of Thurpo, you've got the option of Byram, and you've got the option of Schmidt. I mean, where would
I
you
thought
go with it?
Schmidt did really, really well against
I did
Harrogate.
as well,
I
actually.
really liked him, but I just don't think he's going to put him on, is it? I don't know what his beef is with him, but
Would you
I
start
really would.
Schmidt
Yeah, I
on?
definitely would.
I would as
After
well.
that game, he was just everywhere and he went forward a lot and he just looked really sharp. Yeah,
And he's
I
got
really,
great
really
hair as
liked him.
well.
Yeah, but he's the one who stood out most to me that game was Schmidt. Yeah.
I agree. I was going to say about Schmidt in terms of, I think Firpo probably isn't fully match fit yet in terms of obviously
Mm.
coming off the back of a big injury. Byram, I think, has done a solid job for us, to be fair. But I think in this game, I think it's going to be a lot more of an attack versus defence, like it was against Harrogate, really. But listen, Sheffield Wednesday got better quality, but I think you
The
want
thing is
Schmidt.
with Byron, he just goes backwards so much, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
that's it. I
Um,
mean, solid
yeah.
defensively, but
Yeah.
not really. I mean, listen, I want a fullback to be solid first and
Mm.
foremost. In defensively, I'm more bothered about that. But in terms of going forwards, I just think Schmidt is more than equal to Byram.
Yeah.
So I'd go Schmidt personally. And I think another thing to remember is we've got a massive week coming up. Wednesday on Sunday. Wednesday on Sunday doesn't sound right. Sheffield on Sunday. I'm going to confuse myself when I say it. I'm going to say we're playing Sunday on
Wednesday or
Wednesday kind of
Sunday.
thing. Sheffield Sunday on Wednesday. Right. Sheffield on Sunday. Norwich on Tuesday?
Wednesday.
No, Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then Burnley on the following Monday. So it's like 3 games in 8 days. So it's quite an
Mm.
intense period. So we're going to have to rotate anyway. So I don't see
That's
why
true,
not.
yeah.
Why not give Schmidt a chance? And then if it doesn't work for Schmidt, play Byron or Firpo in the other games. And then at least they've got fully
Or,
rested.
yeah. Yeah. Unless he starts Firpo and then maybe put Schmidt on
There's an
after to
option. I think
rest
Schmidt can
Firpo. Yeah.
impact games off the bench as well. He's shown it this season. So
Mm.
I think as well, in terms of what I think will happen, I think it'll be Byram, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or for, I don't think it'll be Schmidt that either
Yeah.
way. I think Schmidt will be, I think he'll be on the bench, to be honest.
Yeah. He may
I
be
have
a
a feeling
sort
it'll be
that
Byram
game
on
then.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to midfield then, because I think essentially, obviously, it sounds like Eli Gruev is back as well,
Sounds like what,
potentially for
sorry?
this game. So if we're saying we've got 5 options, okay? So we've got Ampadu, Tanaka, Rothwell, Gruev, and Gila Vogie as well. I mean, I don't really want to see Gila Vogie play at centre back. I can't lie. I don't want. I don't want to
Yeah, I
see him
don't
play at
think he
centre
had a
back.
great game. Yeah.
What 2 would you go for out of that 5 to start Sheffield Wednesday?
Say them again.
So you've got Billy Bremner, you've got Johnny Giles. Right. So we've got Ampadu,
Yeah.
Tanaka, Rothwell, Gruev, and Gila Vogie. That's like our midfield
I would
5.
probably go Tanaka and Ampadu.
Same.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to say it's like a slam dunk, but it feels to me like I really like Rothwell. I do really like Rothwell. I think there's a case to play all them 3 together at times.
Yeah,
You know, have
definitely.
Ampadu sitting in front of the back 4 and just let Rothwell and Tanaka basically do whatever they want ahead of him, kind of thing. That is
Yeah.
kind of what I'd look at potentially. But I just think Ampadu and Tanaka, it balances itself out, doesn't it, Tash?
Yeah, definitely.
It's let us know in the comments as well as we're talking about this who you would want to see in these positions, what your kind of team would be as well. So let's move on to the 3 behind the striker. So I mean, number 10, it's going to be Brendan Aronson, isn't it?
It's gonna be, yeah. And do you know what? I didn't realise he had as many goals as he's got. Like I didn't reckon. I didn't
Is it
realise
8 or 7 or 8? Is it?
Yeah, 7, and he's like second highest goal scorer. Yeah.
Over a season as well, that's 15 goals over a season. So,
Yeah.
if you told me at the start of the season Brendan Aronson will score 15 goals for us, I won't say what I was going to say, but yeah, I wouldn't have believed that. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
So let's go on to wingers. So right hand side, it's pretty much a toss up between Dan James and Nonto. I mean, who are you going
I
for,
would
Tash?
start Dan James, but Nonto again, he was okay. Yeah, he was okay against Harrogate. And he does a job. Yeah, either one, and I think then they would be subbed as well. That's what he tends to do, doesn't he? Sub one for the other.
I was surprised by that, Tash. I thought you were going to give a staunch defensive Dan James and say that it's got to be Dan
I know.
James.
I was just trying to play my cool.
You try and play it cool, won't you?
I was trying not to say Nonto leave.
If it's Nonto
I don't
over
want him
Dan
to leave. So
James, you
if
will
you
be
want to give
fuming on
Nonto a
Saturday,
little
on
bit,
Sunday.
you what? Sorry.
If it's Nonto playing over Dan James, you will be fuming on Sunday.
Yeah, I probably would be. But I'm like, if it keeps him here, then I don't mind. Yeah, but no, yeah, my preferred is Dan James. I just think he's so much quicker. And again, another one who scores loads, and yeah, just I think brings a lot more. And it annoys me when Monto just runs along the line rather than trying to. I think Dan James gets it around the player more and stuff. Yeah. In
Yeah,
the
I
fun.
think Dan James has been the far better of the two this season. I think Nonto is maybe the smoother technician, the smoother, more technical player, but I just think Dan James has been a lot more effective. Whether it's been off the bench or starting. But as you say, we've got a lot of games this week. It might be a case of Dan James starts two, Nonto starts the other. I wouldn't have an issue with that. I think if you can keep Dan James fresh, keep Nonto fresh, I think that's a lot better for the team in general. So I'm going to say Dan James as well. And I think it will be Dan James. I don't think Nonto has done enough against Harrogate to take Dan James out the starting 11.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Let's go on to left-hand side, because this is an interesting one. It's quite an interesting battle, this one, because I think both gave good accounts of themselves against Harrogate. Obviously, both involved in the goal. Solomon's cross, Ramazani's header. Solomon or Ramazani, Tash? Solomon. I'd go Solomon as well. I think he is in better form. I think Ramazani will be better over the season, but I think in the here and now, I think Solomon as well. I think Solomon's in his best form for Leeds at this moment in time. 100%. I think it will be Solomon. I think I can't see, same as Nonto, I can't really see suddenly Ramazani coming in for Solomon. It's okay. Last one then. Up front, unless we sign a striker, it's going to be Perot or Matteo Joseph. Who are you going for, Tash? Perot.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, Yorkshire Derby. The way, I don't know. Really. I think obviously Perot's form in front of the goal has been absolutely unreal, but I'm not sure in terms of physically up against Sheffield Wednesday centre halves whether I prefer Perot off the bench, as he has been super effective this season. I'm going to get killed in the comments either way. Whether I say Perot or whether I say Joseph, because there is such a big divide. In terms of you can't like both. No, you're not allowed to like both. That's it. That is impossible. You cannot like both. You've got to absolutely love one and absolutely want the other one sold or whatever, or drops to the bench or dropped out the squads. So it's I don't know actually. I don't know. I'll say Perot, and then Joseph for Norwich, and then whoever plays better plays Burnley, I guess. That's how I'd go about it. But that's probably a fairly tight one. But
I mean, even if you did start Joseph, I think Perot is actually even better as an impact player as well.
That's what I was thinking.
So, yeah, but I just think Perot, even if he doesn't do much in the game, if there's that one chance, he will finish it. And he's, like you said earlier, he's just so cool in front of the goal. It's like there's no nerves in him whatsoever. And then with Joseph, he's like trying too hard. He gets a bit greedy now and again. And even when he did try and pass it off the other day, it's still nothing really happened. And I just don't think it's working for him at the minute. I just don't think we can really test him. That sounds so bad,
it's one of those, like I said with Ramazani, I think Ramazani over the season will get us more goals and assists than what Solomon will. I think just that pure speed, his performances before he got that injury, I think that injury has disrupted Ramazani quite a bit. I think maybe he's come back a bit too soon. I think he's back to that Derby away game where just anything Ramazani tried didn't really come off. But again, he still gets himself that goal against Harrogate. He's still got that real eye for goal when needed.
The idea of Ramazani and Dan James up top together as well, because they're like
speed,
pace. Just so quick, and then they actually have someone there for them. Because sometimes Dan James gets up there and then there's no one there to do
it. There's no one on his wavelength. There's no one within 10 meters of him because he's that far ahead, kind of thing. Exactly, it is it is actually, we joke about it, but that is actually, starting to become a bit evident when you see, obviously,
Yeah,
Perot, not to dig out Perot and Solomon here, but yeah, it's quite evident in
yeah.
terms of the
There's
difference
so many
in,
times where he's put it across the defenders, and then there's just like no one there, no one in the
yeah.
box, or if there's someone in the middle, there's no one on the outside. So if it misses them, you've got hardly anyone then running in and finishing it, like having two options to finish it, but instead it's just barely getting one.
And exactly that. And I think you've got to look at, in terms of who suits who. And I think over the season, I think Ramazani, Joseph, James, that's quite an explosive front three to have. Obviously, I still think Joseph will play himself into form in terms of once he gets that goal. I keep saying it, but I do
I want
believe.
him to. I really want him to do well. Don't like think of this as a bashing or that I want him gone or
No, no,
anything like
not at
that.
all.
That's why I was like, would he go on loan or not? Because if he had that constant game time where he was just the start to finish every game, would that then, and just outside of that um rut that he's in, if he just got took out of that for a little bit, I don't know. But then yeah, we're down a good player, so I don't know. I
It's
don't
one
think
of
we will.
those. I mean, the other thing to point out is against Harrogate, Solomon played in the middle. He was playing in the number 10, and I think he had a really good performance again. And it is an option where you can say Solomon and Ramazani can play in the same team. If,
Yeah.
obviously, but obviously he'll never drop Brendan Harris, which is another, unless Solomon really convinces in that 10 spot. But I think he's showing that he can do it.
Mm.
And I think if you can get James, Solomon, and Ramazani in behind the centre forward, I think that's an unbelievable attack to have at this level. And again, as I say, it's not the worst problem in the world to have because you've got, at least with Perot, you'll score goals. Yes, he will frustrate everyone, but he'll score goals. And listen, never ever underestimate the value of goals. We're not a team that has a lot of natural goal scorers. We've got a lot of different goal threat, but we've not got someone who, other than Perot, you can confidently say is getting 20 goals this season. I think Perot is that player.
Yeah,
I
I
just
agree.
wish he's run around a little bit more. But
Close
it
them
is what
down,
it is.
put pressure on them. Yeah,
But
no,
that
I agree.
composure in front of goal is absolutely invaluable. But should we round off with a prediction, Tash? I'll go to you
Yeah,
first.
I might say 2 or 3-0. I'm feeling confident.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
unlike you, Tash.
I know. It'll all change on the day. We're gonna
Clean
know.
sheet, 2 or 3-0. What is going on here?
Yeah, we're all gonna do it.
So you're thinking Melier is going to make save after save after save?
No, I just think the defense is gonna be that good.
No shots on target.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might feel negative with mine. I still think we'll win. I think it's like a 1-0. I
Yeah,
think
I
it's a
can see
1
that
0
as
tight, gritty Yorkshire derby.
well.
I was going to say we score from a set piece, but probably I think it'll be a mistake from Sheffield Wednesday and we'll score. I think we'll dominate the game, but we'll put that much pressure on Sheffield Wednesday. Eventually, they will make a mistake. I do believe.
Yeah.
I believe. I believe we'll win.
I believe.
We'll leave it there then, guys. I think, unless there's anything else you want to add, Tash.
No, that's it. Yeah.
Are we still going up as? I was about to swear. Then are we still going up as effing champions?
Yeah.
Flipping heck, Tash. Is it because we're filming on? If this
I'm not
is
even joking
Tuesday,
tonight.
Tash, then we'll
Yeah.
film only on Tuesdays.
Yeah, exactly. Because then I'm really positive starting the week, and then it just goes.
You're at that midpoint in between games where you forget about the last game, and because you forgot about the last
Exactly.
game, you're just thinking about
Yeah.
this one.
And then you're excited for the next one. Yeah.
Right then. We'll leave it there, guys. As I say, Tuesday build up. We will be doing this every single week, and we'll be trying to do post match reviews as well in a similar format when we can. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Big thanks to Tash.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And hit that like button and subscribe button as well, and get in the comments. Let us know what your team will be. Would you want to see anything happen in the transfer window? What your prediction is for this game, and your thoughts with Leeds in general. Are you still as confident now, or are you maybe not confident at all we're going to go up? Or just tell us how confident you are we're going to go up or not. I don't know where I was going with that. I was trying to say, are you more confident than you were at the start of the season? That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That is what I meant. Are you more confident than you were at the start of the season that we'll go up, or not confident at all? Just let us know what your thoughts are on Leeds, guys. I'll leave it there anyway. I've completely messed up that segment, and we will leave it there. Big thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you later. Cheers, guys.